Hey folks, I just want to run through, told a couple of folks that I would put one of these together, run through how to do your DIY turn signals for your side-by-sides. Everybody freaks out over this. It sounds so complex, but it's truly not complex. I'm going to walk you through the basics and show you how everything works on a diagram first and then show you the parts. This is a diagram that I used to give out with the turn signal kits I used to sell on eBay. I've just quit selling them recently. I still have a lot of relays, flasher relays and the bases and all that. I may, if I get enough interest, I may put them back out there again and start selling them. So let's look at how this works. The most important thing is your power coming in should always have a fuse, right? So there's your fuse and your power coming in. You're going to wire that to your pulse bar. And I think you'd want to wire it to the yellow, I think is on the three colors of pulse bar. One's ground, red is constant on, and yellow is power on only when you turn the key on, right? Or vice versa. Figure it out. Don't need a comment on that one. So what happens is your power runs through. And in this case, this is a flasher. This is what causes everything to flash. So it's not a flasher set up to the left one, a flasher set up to the right one. A flasher, all it does is an intermittent, once power is pushed through it, it's going to cycle that power, every second. Click on, click off, click on, click off. So that's essentially all it's doing for a turn signal. Nothing fancy, nothing big for most people to understand. And so that's how this works. So the fuse goes in to the flasher. This one just happens to clamp down on a kit. You can replace these. This is one I used to sell, waterproof. One wire goes to the ground, so you've got your system grounded, and then your power out. So power in, power out. And once you complete that cycle and you get that power to fully connect, that's when the flasher starts going close, open, close, open, close, open, causing the flash. Okay, hopefully that's easily explained. So let's take a look at the turn signal stock. This is one I used to sell for Razors and Can-Am X3s that actually fit on there with a couple of little deals. I only have one or two left of these. I got a couple of metal ones left. So let's talk about this. See how non-complex this is. Real simple. Power coming in from, in this case, the red wire is the power going out of that flash. So now you have the power going into the blue, power going through. Now you're just completing a circuit. That's all you're doing. So you have two wires. When you click down, that now completes a circuit for the blue wire to go out to whatever light you've got it connected to. Some factory lights allow you to connect to them in a certain way and let them flash. Some you have to put your own lights on, but it's that simple. So, and then the light itself, I should have grabbed one for this demonstration. Any light bulb will do. I've got a bunch of them I used to sell too, with two wires off it, right? Positive and ground. The ground just gets grounded to the chassis. On, I think just about all Polarises, you have a negative chassis ground. Because I noticed that on my new Polaris, your ground is through the chassis itself. So you literally only have to run two wires from each. This blue wire happens to be for the left turn signal. You will take two wires off of that and go ahead and clamp those together and seal them. And one goes to the back, one goes to the front light. The ground wire off the front light gets grounded anywhere you want, or you can bring the ground wires back and have two wires coming back, and the ground becomes a common, right? Ground is common. So if you could find a place on the chassis up front or tap into an existing ground wire up front, you do that. Same way with the rear. You have one wire going to the front left, one wire going to the rear left, one wire going to the front right, one wire going to the front back. When this engages, you now complete a circuit and you now have that light turn on. Now the flasher in the beginning of the cycle is now starting to on, off. There's your flash. There's your turn signal. So This is how the kit works. It's really that simple. When you look at the diagram, just one wire going and splitting off to front and rear, one wire going to the right front, splitting off to the front and the rear. So that's how simple a system truly is. So buy the parts. Make sure you never forget. Don't ever not put a fuse, inline fuse on these. That's where they catch on fire. And then go to your flasher. Go to a signal. Now that may be a two-way rocker switch. It might be a toggle switch. It doesn't matter, whichever contact you want. But your switch needs to be on, off, on, right? That's how all that works. So when you see an off, on, that means you're off when you're all the way down. You're on for the first, but then you're on again if you want to add a second set of lights or whatever. So in the case of turn signals, and I've even seen the rocker switch, you can buy them going left to right. And so you can dead center them and go left turn signal, right turn signal. They even make and sell those. Technically 3 wires on there. Yes, there's more pins. Those additional pins are there to light that unit up. So you can look at the diagrams on those pinouts and decide if you want to add the lights on the rocker to make them come on when they're on left or right, so you remember they're on, or you have them on at nighttime with your running lights. But you can do the research on that. I really hope this was helpful. I'm putting this one on mine, my Pro. I figured out a way to do it in a past video, and I'm gonna re-round this out a little bit, do some manipulation, and it looked pretty darn good. I think this is one. I've got a metal stock as well that's a little cleaner than this. I'm gonna see if that would work as well, but either way, that's what I'm gonna do with my Pro XP. Now, this is the basics you can do on any side-by-side, okay? So don't let it get to you. Take a look online and see if any of the Polaris units allow a secondary light wiring. So for instance, I'm going to take the additional lights in the back. I actually bought those. You can see them in the previous deal, where you have your accent lights above your normal tail lights, the accent lights. Those are the ones I'm going to use for turn signals. So all I do is run one wire to it, one wire, and tap into the back lights ground. And I now have a turn signal back there that looks factory. It's all good. Up front, I'm still deciding on what to do, but we'll figure it out. Hey, listen, again, hope this is helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. I learned something from folks on the internet every day.